Welcome back, football fam. We here to tell you about some of our head coaching hires. We're gonna have two parts for you. In this first part, we're gonna give you 8 coaching hires, and we're gonna give you our grades. Uh, let's start this thing right off with probably the most controversial, our biggest talked about head coaching hire of the offseason. Let's put the guy on the screen. Lane Kiffin. He'll be taking over as the head coach at LSU, formerly of Ole Miss. Tyler, let's hear your thoughts first.
You want my grade first? You just want me to just talk about it real quick?
Whatever you want to do, man. No matter.
Okay. Well, this is what I did. I gave it A plus for Lane Kiffin. For Lane Kiffin, because apparently this is his dream job, and he prayed about it, and money had no factor in it. Okay, uh, but I gave this. For LSU, I gave this like a B because Lane Kiffin is unreliable. He's known to get distracted, and will he hurt your program more than he help you? Ask USC, ask Tennessee, ask the Oakland Raiders when they were Oakland Raiders back then. So so for Lane Kiffin, congratulations, you got your dream job. You're in the boot. They're probably one of the most prestigious college football schools. But are you going to help them more than you help them, or are they more than you hurt them? So I give him an A minus.
Took all my talking points. I can't let you go first no more. Talk about a guy that can turn a mountain out of an anthill. This is Lane Kiffin. Uh, this this guy, I mean, this coach, very good coach. I give him credit for that.
Very good
But this
coach.
will not end well. It never ends well with Lane. Um, once you get in bed with him, just know this is not a forever fling. This is a fling. So
Literally,
no doubt Lane will not be. I don't. He won't be here a decade. He won't. He probably be here 5 years if
maybe.
that. So I give it a B plus from the coaching standpoint. He can coach. He can recruit. Uh, does he recruit at the level that they think he does? Probably not.
Uh-uh.
Uh, who's retained? If Blake Baker's retained, good. If not, why not? Explain that decision.
Yes.
Uh, and from a media standpoint, they need to be ready 3 years from now because that's when the relationship's going to start going sour, especially if he doesn't win the championship, which apparently is the goal at LSU. Just he's just up and win a championship out of nowhere. Okay, whatever. So expectations are too lofty. So that's one problem. They're not gonna give him the time to get it done, and then Lane Kiffin, like you said, gets distracted. He's a little childish. He's the type to stir up controversy, I'll say. So I gave it a B plus overall. The guy can coach.
Yeah.
It's just how focused will he be, and for how long will he be focused? Moving on, let's talk about the coaching job he left. They immediately hired his replacement, Pete Golding. He's the Ole Miss defensive coordinator. He's now the head coach. He will be coaching the Rebels in the playoffs. Todd, your thoughts on Pete?
Uh, well, congratulations to him for getting a head coaching job. I do think he's interviewing for other coaching jobs. I think this is a trial run, so he can just get his name out there for other coaching jobs because he won't be here long. Because we know Ole Miss defense hasn't always been amazing or worth hiring a coach for, in my opinion. But so I gave the hire a C because it's kind of like an incomplete because he was just thrown in there. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm not going to give him an F off that. But let's see what he does. If he coaches his team in the playoffs and beat beat Tulane and beat who they playing Georgia next or Oklahoma
Georgia.
who Georgia next.
Every Georgia.
So if
Mm-hmm.
they beat Georgia, I mean he might go to the A off that. So I'm gonna give him an incomplete right now because I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, we shall see what happens with that. Guess what I gave him?
But F.
A C. same same thing. I thought the hiring came out of nowhere. Did not think they would get a job to Pete Golding. Guy has a lot of off the field issues. I'll leave it up to you to Google that. He had a very interesting 2022. You guys can look it up on your own. The players like him. He is from the Nick Saban coaching tree.
Of course.
Questionable defensive play calling when he was at Alabama. Some say he was fired. Some say he was nudged out. Some say he just left. It's unclear. So that's how I kind of look at it. Yeah, I mean it's a hire to keep the players in the building, but
Yeah,
I don't know how long term how good it fits for Ole Miss. I'm pretty sure Pete Golding, they got him cheap. Of course, I don't think he's a head coaching candidate for a lot of jobs out there. In my opinion, he probably wouldn't be a guy I hire. I don't think he's a great leader of men. Uh, so I just say a C. I don't want to bag on the guy too much, but I think it's the best Ole Miss could be done in the opportunity they were
right.
in. But I would not be surprised if there is a different head coach in Ole Miss in a couple of years. Moving on to the third job, who's getting the guy off his couch. Another guy with a little bit of controversy. Pat Fitzgerald taking over at Michigan State. Tyler, your thoughts?
If you know about Pat Fitzgerald, if you don't know him, let me just tell you, he had a hazing allegation when he was at Northwestern. Uh, very, it was national news. It was that bad. So that tells you something because every college does hazing, but this tells you something. So I gave him a D because I think Michigan State could have really found a better coach because his career record, if you want to know, is 110 and 101. That's not good. and his and he's I think he was 13. He's 65 and 76 in the Big Ten. 65 and 76. You hired a coach with a losing record. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I gave him a D.
I gave him a C. You could have done worse than Pat Fitzgerald. This is Michigan State. They've fallen off a little bit. They're not as prestigious as they used to be. I think getting a guy Pat who's done a lot with less when he was at Northwestern uh, was the reason I gave him a C. He can coach. The thing is, are the players going to play for him? Like you said, I didn't want to bring up the allegations. I was going to bring up he had some off the field stuff. But yeah, he has some off the field drama behind him going on at Northwestern that Tyler touched on there a little bit. That's something they should really think about. There's a reason this guy didn't have a head coaching job. So I will leave it at that. It's a C. It could have been worse. Michigan State's falling on hard times, so I think this is probably the best they could have done right now. But how good can he be in the Big Ten now that they've added Oregon, UCLA, USC, Washington? It's only gotten tougher in the Big Ten since he's left. I
And
don't know how he's going to.
I
Where
know
does Michigan State stand in all that? That's what my concern is.
and I know like it's gonna take a year or two for him to really get it going. But how much time do you give this guy though? Like, cause you're like I said, Michigan, USC, Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana. How long will it take you to get up there with these guys? Because it's
You,
Maryland. I'm throwing Maryland in there.
you got to give him time. You got to give him 4 or 5 years. You got to
That's
because you look at where your program is. He literally has to tear it down to build it back up. So you talk at least 5 years before you even consider to be competitive for a Big Ten championship, in my opinion. So that's why I don't know if this was the right way to go with a guy with off field stuff.
you got so many coordinators out there. You might as well give one of these coordinators a chance.
There were some good coordinators out there. One right there in your backyard. We'll talk about that later though. So moving on to the next head coach. Another interesting hire, in my opinion. Jim Moore Jr. heading out there, leaving UConn, heading to Colorado State. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I got Jim Mora. I'm a UCLA guy, so I know who Jim Mora is. And yes, he has underachieved at UCLA with Josh Rosen at quarterback, who was the first round pick, who didn't get a fair shake. Different conversation, but yeah, man, I gave this a D minus because like why would you want to hire? I get he's winning at UConn, but I think he was 6-6, 6-6, 8-4, and I guess
He
now
went great.
what he's good now.
He wasn't great.
Yeah, but his quarterback's
9-3 now.
okay. His quarterback's good. What happens when that quarterback leaves? Is the team gonna be good? Because they still give up a lot of points. So it's like, so Jim Moore, you get a D for this hire. Well, Colorado State, you get a D. I get you had to hire somebody, but you could hire somebody from Colorado. But yeah, you go ahead, man. I give it a D minus.
I gave it a D. I didn't want. I wanted to give it an L if I say it's just too much. I'm not a Jim Mora guy. Never really been good to me. Kind of surprised UConn's 9-3, but I dove into the schedule and I'm not so surprised now. So 9-3, whatever. Not sure how he got on Colorado State's radar. Not sure if he has ties to the area. I know he has some California ties. Maybe that's it.
Yep.
So maybe they're hoping for a recruiting resurgence. I don't know. He doesn't strike me as a big recruiting guy either. So
that's what I literally put in my notes. Can he recruit? Because I don't know if he can recruit.
I'm baffled by the hire. I give it a D. I think they could have did better. I think they just maybe they are just looking for an X's and O's type guy. He can do that.
So, definitely that.
If that's the case, then I bump it up to a C.
Yeah. Too high.
Yeah, C. I'm gonna say minus. I give it a C. So graded on the curve, you get a C. Moving on to the school he left, we got UConn and new head coach Jason Candle from Toledo. The Rockets, y'all. I like the hire. Sorry, spoiler. Tyler, your thoughts?
Well, he touched on it. For UConn, this is a good hire. What Kirk Sinang say? Google me. I can win. This guy can win. He led. No one talks about Toledo. Well, he had people talking about him. They were championships in the MAC. So I mean, congrats. I give it a B because UConn plays people. So let's see if they can hang. So I give him a B.
I gave it a B plus actually. My thing is this a bigger job than Toledo? I'm not really sure, but I think they're kind of on the same plane, in my opinion. Maybe not. I'll leave it up for y'all to decide. I will say, UConn getting Jason Campbell, you're getting a guy who is very prolific in all styles of offense, run heavy, pass heavy, up tempo, ball control. He can do it all. His offense can do it all. He's played them all different ways. When he had Kareem Hunt, they ran it down people's throats. When he had a good quarterback, they went spread and tore people up in the slots. I mean, this guy can do it all. He up tempo offense is crazy when he does it. He can do ball control as well. Like I say, they can do it all kinds of ways. He was sought after by a lot of programs, a lot of big Power 4 programs to be their offensive coordinator. And he just couldn't come to terms with being an offensive coordinator. I think that's why he kind of stuck around for Toledo for so long. And things did kind of get stale because he was not – I don't think he was fully invested in being the head coach of Toledo. He wanted a bigger job. So maybe in his eyes – this is a bigger job. I think this is a stepping stone job for him to get even bigger job because he didn't want to be offensive coordinator at another level. Because, matter of fact, Miami tried to get him as offensive coordinator when I can't think of the coach's name. When Mario Cristobal was hired, his first call was get Jason Campbell to be the offensive coordinator of the Hurricanes. So I was really excited about that. But he ultimately turned it down, and we ended up with Josh Gaddis. What a mess that was. Yeah. Jessica, I love this hire. B plus for me. Only thing is, I just don't buy UConn as being a bigger school than Toledo. I think they're on the same thing. I think it's a lateral move. So, but I think he just wanted a fresher place to get eyes on him again as far as getting a Power 4 job. So shout out to him. Shout out to Jason Campbell. Good hire all together.
I would say UConn gets more talked about than Toledo do. So that could be
possibly
could be possible.
You independent, so you do control your schedule. But when I know the schedule for next year's made, how many open games do you have for 27 that you can schedule guys for? So we'll see. Hopefully they schedule some more interesting matchups.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next hire, we got Jamarcus Shepard going out there to Oregon State, coming from Alabama. He was the co-offensive coordinator, wide receivers guy. Tyler, your thoughts?
Yeah, I gave this one an A++, man, because just off his press conference, he was like, I want to be here. He was just talking like all big, and he was talking like, I love this, and I'm not gonna waste this opportunity. So, and he was serious about recruiting and getting guys to come here. So I'm like, okay, because we've never heard anybody talk about that about Oregon State. So I gave it an A++ because I feel like he's gonna be at Oregon State for a while. Because like I said, he literally started from the ground up as well. So, because the Oregon State team is awful. So, shout out to them for actually hiring an African American coach because he's the only one that's been hired so far. So, I want to throw that in there. So, yeah, I think it's an A++.
Okay. I know he's a strong recruiter. I looked at his recruiting rankings while he's at Alabama. He's really good at that. First time head coach, that kind of scares me in an area that I'm not sure he's from. I knows too much about. Uh, he will also be coaching with Alabama throughout the college football playoffs, so that'll put Oregon State behind the eight ball there heading into next season. But I just don't know too much about the guy personally, so I had to say incomplete. I didn't want to put a grade on him. I want to see how he does. I will be paying attention to Alabama's passing attack in the playoffs to see how he does. I know they can. I would well, obviously I'm paying attention to wide receivers more to see how they do because I think he had a lot of. I think he had a lot of input on the wide receivers. So
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams, uh,
Jermaine Bernard.
Bernard. I couldn't think of the first name, but yeah, I'll be watching those guys a lot. So just see how they look. And I'll come back to Mr. Shepard, and I wish him the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see what it looks like. Two more teams, y'all. Let's think of a team in the Big 12. We're gonna go with Eric Morris, new head coach, Oklahoma State, coming over from North Texas. Uh, let me say this: Eric Morris, I think this is an excellent hire. This is a guy who knows offense, knows talent development.
Mm-hmm.
He will find a quarterback. Eric Morris found Cam Ward, found John Mateer, and he helped develop those guys. He helped mold their identity. He found Drew Mastermaker, quarterback of North Texas. I would not be surprised if Drew Mastermaker is the quarterback of Oklahoma State.
Is he a freshman?
Would not be surprised at all. Say what?
Is Drew Matchmaker a freshman?
Freshman.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Also, running back Caleb Hawkins. Couldn't think of his name on the video, but Caleb Hawkins, when we was doing our college pick'ems for the bowl game for the championships, for some reason couldn't think of Caleb Hawkins' name. Anyway, he's the running back of North Texas from Oklahoma.
Ooh.
You don't think Eric Morris is gonna take some of those guys and bring them up to Oklahoma State with him?
Definitely. If he was smart, he would.
This is a huge A+ hire from a schematic standpoint. Eric Morris, great with the X's and O's, and he can recruit the area because he's been in that area for a while now.
It's right there.
All the way back
right
to Incarnate Word. He's been in that area. He knows football. He knows this area. He's gonna rule Northeast Texas as far as recruiting goes. So Houston, SMU, y'all guys look out. This guy's coming. Oklahoma State's gonna be taking some players. Oklahoma also better watch out. So Oklahoma State, huge hire, Eric Morris. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I gave it a B just because how they handled the championship game against Tulane, because he looked kind of distracted. The team didn't play as great as I thought they would because Tulane just ran off on him, and then looked like Tulane took the foot off the gas. That's why I gave it a B, because I know he can recruit, I know he can win, but can he win when it matters? That's why I gave him a B. But I do know he's going. Oklahoma State, they've been in the gutter for a while. Another coach got to build from the ground up again. So give him 3 or 4 years, they will be competing for a conference championship.
He has a different energy than Mike Gundy too, man. So,
yeah, Mike Gundy's energy was kind of stale. Like he's been there since the Clinton administration.
He's been there too long.
Yeah,
it's like he got to grow stale, and he had a damn mullet, and it was just too much to deal with, man.
Too much.
Couldn't take that guy serious after a while. So let's talk about their rival in the Big 12, and they are rivals, y'all. Kansas State going out there and hiring Texas A&M offensive coordinator and former Kansas State quarterback Colin Klein. Tyler, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, this is a great hire for Kansas State, especially when you have Avery Johnson at quarterback. So I wonder if he had any input, because if Avery Johnson's staying, fantastic. Because we know he's a great quarterback. Hopefully Klein can develop his passing a little more, because we know he can run the ball. But when it came to passing, he was kind of iffy with it. And hopefully he's going to recruit some guys there. Hire you a defensive coordinator, a great defensive coordinator if you want to give this team a chance. But yeah, after what you said he did with Marcel Reed, can Avery Johnson take that next step? That's my thing. But I give it a B+.
Okay. I'm a little more generous than you. I give it an A plus. I like
Very
the hire. He's an
generous.
alma mater. He's a former Heisman finalist at Kansas State. He's a fan favorite. Uh, Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year when he was there in 2012. Johnny Unitas Golden Arm winner in
Mm.
2012. Uh, this is his first time as a head coach, but he's a player's coach. He plays a style of play that favors Avery Johnson. They play the same way. I'm not sure he can prove him much as a passer. I mean, I don't know. He probably find a good quarterback coach for that. Um,
I
I mean,
mean,
because he wasn't much of a passer either. I mean, he could pass it, but
he hit with Marcel
it wouldn't
Reed,
get.
so
Yeah, but Marcel Reed did turn the ball over a little bit late in the season. He started getting a little shaky.
yeah, he's fighting room for that Kansas State job.
So I don't know, but I think it's a good hire. I'm not sure if he's going to be taking over immediately, or is he going to be coaching with Texas A&M in the playoffs. I haven't heard. I do know with some other coaches, a lot of coaches are staying on to coach their teams in the playoffs, and in some cases that is not the case in other schools like Ole Miss. So I give it A plus. I think it's right on par with Eric Morris. I think both of these guys should do well in the Big 12, especially if like Kyle Whittingham retires, like they're saying. I mean, it could be opening that Utah might take a step back. So there could be room for another team to step up.
Since you mentioned Utah, I did see they are finalizing a private equity deal for $500 million. So
Holy smokes.
yeah.
Texas Tech better enjoy it. So, all right.
just thought throw it out there while we were talking about it.
Mm. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. This part one of our coaching hires. We're gonna come back with some more jobs like UCL, maybe Penn State. I don't know. UCLA, Kentucky, Cal, Virginia Tech, Stanford, Arkansas, Florida. We're gonna touch on all those schools later. Get down in the comment section. Tell us what you like about these jobs. Who's the best hire? Colin Klein, Eric Morris. Are we off base when it comes to Jim Moore Jr.? Are we off base with Pete Golding? Let us know. Are we off base with Pat Fitzgerald? Let us know in the comment section. He's definitely gonna reply. I'm gonna read him. But, we out.